Celine, I'm curious. Like, what? I guess let's backtrack. Like from like childhood. Were you always into like I guess like energy healing, or what were you into growing up? Like that led to Reiki.
Well, absolutely not. I had no idea what energy healing was. Nothing. I don't know anything about it until like a few years ago. But as a child, no, I was just like a normal kid. Like a girl, eldest of four. So you know, uh, trying to be like the cute one, and of course because I'm the oldest, being the responsible one. But nothing, no special experiences, like not a gifted person in that sense. But I do remember having like a one very distinct spiritual, I don't know, like really crazy experience, which was in my old home. There were like a flight of stairs, and like when you're trying to go down the stairs, there's a switch to the light. And I was so little back then, I couldn't really reach the switch yet. But like if you jump a little, you can. So I tried to do that, and I must have slipped or something. And instead of falling down, I felt like something carry me
Oh wow.
all the way down to the flight of the stairs. So that was a really, and I was young. I don't know why all of a sudden I remembered it, but like maybe 3 or 4, I don't know, or less. I don't know, but that was the only supernatural thing that I've experienced.
That's pretty supernatural, though. I've not had that
That is
experience.
pretty supernatural.
Like I've never had that
That's so
experience.
cool. That is so cool. But they say that kids are, I guess, I don't know. I mean, to entertain what's in my head right now, I guess they're, they say that kids have a stronger ability to manifest, I guess, what they're thinking in their minds as compared to adults, right? Like they say they're more creative, they're more flexible that way. Their brains are definitely much, much more flexible and malleable, right? I mean, if you're familiar with the term neuroplasticity, I mean, that's something I think that kids have a much better grasp on in comparison to us
Oh yeah,
yuppies.
from age 0 to 7, I believe your brain is just a sponge. You're just absorbing everything, like everything. So there's no filters. You haven't developed that the brain waves yet for you to start to really filter all the information. So that's why, looking back, it's like your parents really play a critical role in your life, like in the fact
Yep, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, that we were, my friend. That we were.
that makes me think you guys had like very interesting childhood experiences.
That's one way to put it. Yeah, it's definitely one way to put it.
It's a nice way of saying it, I think. But I mean, what was it? How about you though? I mean, like, what was your upbringing like? I mean, were they encouraging about? I mean, when you told them about the supernatural thing that happened to you, did you tell your parents or like your siblings? Like,
No, I was so young. I wasn't even sure if I could speak by that time, but I was so young. So I guess it was just something that happened, and like I forgot about it, or I never told anyone about it. And I don't know. It was just a memory that
mm,
all of a sudden came up, and for me, it's an angel. Like the way I
yeah,
interpret it is, it must be an angel who is there to kind of make sure I didn't die.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
definitely.
but how do you
But the,
view angels? Like, what's your perception of an angel? Because a lot of people have different, I guess, views of what an angel is. What's yours?
I absolutely believe in angels. Ever since I started my Reiki journey, uh, 2018, I think, or 2019, I forget. Like now, I don't have any sense of time anymore. But around that time, 2018, 2019, when I started my Reiki journey, I've developed my intuitive abilities, and I'm starting to see things that I didn't used to see before. So angels are one of them, because they say angels manifest in different ways. Like I don't see like a, like a thing with wings, or I don't really see a person. It's not a vision in that sense. But
Mhm.
what I see are flashes of light.
Energy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's, and the more I deepened my spiritual practices, the more that the flashes of light started, they start to appear more frequently. And even now, like up to this day, like every day, almost every day, like I see flashes of light. uh,
Wow.
and to me, those are my angels.
That's super cool. So
That's
you
super cool.
mentioned your journey in Reiki. What actually got you into Reiki?
Yeah, interesting question. Basically, it was when my dad passed away. So I was living in Singapore back then, and then my dad all of a sudden passed away, and that really made me question about my purpose, and of course grieving and time with family. It made me realize that there's not much time left in this world, and I should spend it with people I love and care about. So even though like I was having such a great time in Singapore, having the best career ever, um, I just felt like also maybe part of the grieving process, that I needed to be with family. So I decided to come back and you know um, grieve and just chill for a while and be with my sisters. So it was then that one of my aunts, my dad's youngest sister, who's a Reiki master. She's been a Reiki master for like 30 years,
Wow.
That's
but
super cool.
she doesn't live in Manila. She lived in the US. But she would come here to Manila once a year to teach Reiki. And I've always wanted to take her class, but the timing never worked out because I was in Singapore and stuff like that. So finally, when I came back, she was there too, and I finally had that opportunity to learn Reiki from her through the Healing House.
Oh, nice.
She teaches
Huh.
there at the Healing House. That was the only place where she taught, and she would only teach once, like only one class for that year. So very rare opportunity. And and I've had a really crazy experience also, like when I got my very first attunement in Reiki. Because in Reiki, it's like when you get attuned. Have you guys taken any Reiki
Yep.
class?
Well, they've done Reiki on me. I haven't taken any like training or class.
There's an attunement process, and what that does is it would open up your energy centers. I mean, you always have that, your energy centers, but the Reiki just really takes out all the blockages and like just opens up the flow of.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but by energy center, do you mean chakra?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So
Super
everything is
cool.
energy. So yeah, so basically the your energy centers will be opened up, especially the crown chakra, because that's where the Reiki, and Reiki, by the way, literally means universal life force. So it's spiritual energy coming from God, or from the divine source, or whatever you call it.
Mhm.
Me, I call it God. So God is the one; He's the creator of everything, and so He's all around. And through Reiki, your chakras and your energy centers kind of open up to that, so that through that connection, you can heal yourself and heal others. Because my goal at that time was to heal myself. I was grieving and I was questioning my life. Like, who am I? What's my purpose in life and all that.
Yeah.
So I needed something more because even though like I was very successful in my career, I've always felt something was missing in my life and I just couldn't figure it out because I'm such a kind of like a perfectionist type of person. Like I would do everything right, by the book. I mean, I have a little fun too, but more or less, I try to do things the right way with integrity and all that. But for some reason, there's there's just this thing that I don't know.
What was
And
your career path? Sorry, what was your career path before you got into Reiki? I'm curious.
so I was in the advertising industry. I was doing business development for advertising platforms. At that time, I was working in this company called Outbrain. Um, anyway, it's kind of like Google, but a different platform.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I was when they hired me, the person who told me about this company said it's going to be the next Google. So I was like, yeah, I want to be part of that. And yeah, it was they're on their way. I mean, yeah, so it's great to be part of such an amazing global company and worked hard and they gave me great opportunity. It was nice because I was traveling, living abroad, like, having such a free life, can do whatever I want.
But there was
But
something missing.
yeah, there was this something I just don't know, nothing. I couldn't figure it out.
And what
And
was the process like when you were getting into Reiki? Like, how did it? Because, like, I mean, I think we Snap and I relate to what you're saying. I mean, we also had jobs that were great, exciting. I was in
Yeah.
video production. Snap was in entrepreneurship, ren, like doing different things. Like,
Yeah, a lot of different
but
things.
it was boring. Like, I think you're actually very privileged to have these kinds of jobs. But like years after, like now I'm in I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher. Snap is in renewable energy. So it's kind of like our paths totally switched. But it was a very difficult process for me though. Cuz like all the time people were telling me, and I don't know if you experienced this, but like my family would be like, "What? Why don't you be a director and be a yoga teacher at the same time? Like, why are you gonna let go of that? Like, it pays well." And like that got to me. That was a very very long and difficult process. So I'm curious, like, how yours was. Like, was it easy or was it challenging?
oh, it was very very challenging, and that's what Reiki did for me. Really try to uh, make me see uh, a lot of things in my life that I kind of repressed. Like, and it was, when it helped me to start asking questions about myself that I never thought of. It really made me reflect and go inward in so many ways, and it led me to many experiences. And sometimes those experiences aren't good, but you know, having these experiences, they're all major lessons that made me realize, oh, wow, I didn't know this about myself. And, so that's why this whole pandemic, actually, since I got into Reiki, and then it led me to, people, like relationships, and now this pandemic, all the shadow work. I don't know if you guys are familiar with
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
shadow.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's currently happening right now.
Work on the end. Let's work on the end.
Yeah, yeah. It's happening. It's happening as we speak.
Shadows started to come out, and I was like, oh, I am not who I thought I was. And now I totally different. Like when this thing started to who I am now, I totally changed everything. Like what I'm doing, what I'm spending my time on. I mean, I'm still working and that hasn't changed, but what I want to do now, like, finding my purpose, a better purpose than whatever before. Before I had no clue. I felt like I was a headless chicken, you know. But now at least I know what I want to do. And it's, for me it's a good thing, having a direction to go. And it's so unlike me. And one of the things that I've uncovered about myself during this shadow work, and I'm still in it, but I feel like I'm already towards the tail end of like the worst of it, but we don't know. Who knows?
Comes in
Yeah, none of
waves.
us know.
Comes
None
in
of us
waves.
know.
I think it's a lifelong thing.
Agreed. But I mean, if you really think about it, that self-reflection that you experienced is actually a head start. Because imagine when lockdown happened, Nikki and I have talked about this. It's like everyone got forced into a self-reflection mode because you have so much time. You're home. Yeah, we work from home, but I mean, does everybody really work the whole time, right? And
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
definitely moments where you're kind of lost in your thoughts, though.
And
Oh yeah,
feelings,
yeah.
diba?
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Especially feelings.
definitely.
I don't know if you guys believe in aliens and stuff like that, but
Oh, let's go down this
Yeah, we do,
road.
we do, we do, we
Oh,
do.
yeah.
We do.
but what I've been learning in that space is this time is really forcing us to transcend. So this period of, limbo, or I don't know, like, because the world has been so off tangent that the universe or something had to be done, to something major like this, like a global lockdown had to be done for everyone to, you know, come back to who they truly are again. So
True.
it's that message of like unity instead of, polarity and dualism. And and they say the aliens are coming in 2013.
They're already here.
2013.
They're already here.
I'm talking about the hybrid children. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't heard that. Hybrid children?
No, it's like the crystal children and the indigo children.
Indigo. Yeah.
I think those are the first wave, like the hybrids, right? To Celine's point.
Yeah, no,
For
totally.
For those of us that believe.
Yeah. It's okay not to believe, but if we believe, it's okay too.
Live long and prosper.
I mean, it's pretty selfish of us to think that we're the only beings in this universe, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah, come on.
Come
Right.
on. Like,
Probability wise, I think it's already the opposite of what most
Yeah.
people believe.
yeah. And if you think about like animals, I mean, because like I know you can do Reiki on animals too, right? And like animals, I was never an animal person. But until recently, like during this pandemic, I started for some reason developing this affinity for dogs, and like I didn't understand it until this sounds so cheesy, but like my brother's puppy, he made me go with him to get the newborn. Like basically, they were gonna bring them the puppy home, and he put the puppy on top of my chest, like here, and he was just staring at me, and I was half freaking out because I guess there was a fear of dogs, but for some reason something shifted, like he telepathically connected with me. He did something, opened up my heart. Sounds freaking lame, but like I swear,
That's
like,
awesome.
but that's really, I think, kasi like my point is connecting it with the aliens. I think animals are in some way aliens as well, but we can communicate to a certain degree, a certain frequency, right?
Oh yeah.
Diba? I mean, at the same time with plants, you gotta take care of them. If not, they're gonna die, diba? And we don't speak the same language, but we know some cues, diba? To be able to have some semblance of communication. So I think, diba? And the world is talking to us in a pretty loud way now, saying you can't go out. You can't interact.
It's saying
you're
you guys fucked it up.
you fucked it up, so you're
Yeah,
staying home.
humanity kind of.
You're staying home indefinitely.
Yeah, sure. So,
So, I mean, how has lockdown been for you, Celine? I mean, since we're talking about it, Nikki doesn't like to talk about
Why are you
COVID,
talking
by
about
the
this,
way.
man? Why are you talking about this? I was trying to steer it away.
We
Yeah, but
started
yeah,
talking
no.
about it. We
No,
might
but
as
there's
well ask
value in
what's
it. There
your-
is value in it anyway.
Yeah,
The
of
insights, the insights of this pandemic.
well, for me, it forced me to be creative and explore. I mean, one of the parts of the shadow work was like I never defined myself as a creative person. Never. Like I feel like the old me was super boring and like no creativity, whatever. Nothing. I mean, I appreciate art and stuff, but me as a creator, artist, not at all. So, but for some reason, like I get messages from my higher self or from God or from the universe to start doing stuff, like create stuff. And one of them was actually to talk about my Reiki practice because that was something that I didn't do. I just kept it for myself because
Oh, really? Okay.
my goal was to heal myself,
Yeah.
and just do it as a practice. But then when this lockdown happened, everyone felt anxious and adapting and having stressed out and all that. That for some reason, something told me I should start talking about Reiki. And so I did. So I completely changed my Instagram. It's all positivity now, and it's all about Reiki, self-reflection, meditation. One of the things kasi that I needed to learn for myself was to love myself, self-love. And I know it's so cliche, but some people really
Don't.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the self-talk, right? Like when you see yourself in the mirror, what do you tell yourself? Like before, I would say, I'm so fat, blah, blah, blah. But I had to change that. Like if I really want to be happy, if I really want to live life to the fullest, that's not gonna work. Right? So having those simple messages, because Reiki is all about healing yourself first before if you want to heal and help others, you as the healer have to be a spiritual clean vessel. It's like when you're cleaning someone, you have to be clean, diba? So it's like that. And so that's why I started doing that Reiki thing. And then interestingly, I launched an album.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty
Cool.
big.
I make music. Like I don't know how to make music, nothing. But one of my cousins, he's a scratch artist. He's a turntablist. So and like I wanted to make something with my positive affirmations, but make it sound a little bit cool, not boring. Because when you listen to stuff online or when you mga positive affirmations, they're all I am love.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you for joining us.
Yeah.
Vibes. And that's cool. But it's kind of
Yeah.
boring. And if you want to reach like a larger audience, you want to make it more pop-ish. But
Agree.
still the message.
Agree.
So that was like, it was a simple idea, but I felt very strongly about it. And since that was the thing that I was already doing and that people were so positively responding to, like I get random messages from people I haven't talked to in like 20 years and stuff. And they'll be like, oh, I love your videos, like I look forward to that, blah, blah, blah. So that really gave me so much encouragement and motivation that I'm doing something right. Like even if it's just reaching one person, if it made someone happy, if it made someone stop and reflect just for like, 5 minutes, my job is done,
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I did. So if you want to listen to my music,
Yeah, for sure. What is it? Yeah, so what's it called? And so on
it's called
Spotify.
Scrubbing Good Vibrations.
Scrubbing Good Vibrations. I like that.
So it's super simple. Like I'm not singing at all. It's just my positive affirmations, but with like some beats, and they're like a minute long each.
Nice.
But it's meant to be repetitive. But also, I incorporated my Reiki in it. So while we were recording, while we were producing the music, I was channeling Reiki into it. So I was channeling Reiki to myself because everything is connected. So everything has energy. So if you have that intention, and if you're making something in the flow, that energy that you're feeling at that moment in time also somehow translates and gets to the listener, to the audience.
It resonates.
Yeah. So,
You know, that's funny because like the first time I encountered Reiki years ago, I was still in college. I knew nothing about it, and then we were in Tagaytay, and then this is super random. We were trying to open a bottle of peanut butter, and all of us guys couldn't open it. Then one of the girlfriends of my friend comes in and is like, "Wait, I'm just gonna Reiki this thing, and I'll open it." And she was like, put her hands over the peanut butter bottle, and you were like, "What? What the hell are you doing?" And then she released her hands, then just opened it, and I'm like, "What?" Like I remember that was my very first encounter, and then I did sessions years later, and I was like, "Okay, this thing's pretty legit." Celine, do you know by any chance, since you did your Reiki at Healing House, right? Do you know David Del Rosario?
no.
Okay, because he did a session. He's also a Reiki.
He's certified
He's a certified Reiki practitioner too, but by accident. He thought he was gonna get Reiki'd, but he ended up becoming a Reiki master. Yeah.
We actually had him on the podcast too, and like, remember when he first messaged? He was like, "Bro, mali." He thought he was gonna get a healing session
Because he spent so much money. He was wondering, why is it so mahal? But
Yeah.
then he was like, it was a certification course pala.
Yeah.
But
And this guy, he went through with it.
Yeah, he
yeah,
finished
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Because it's
I mean, dude, if you paid for it, might as well. And it's such a gift for me. It's so worth. It's worth it. Every peso or whatever. It's so worth it because it changed my life. Like I'm so happy now. Like happy in a sense that like I feel more free. Like all the things that I repressed as a child. We were just talking about like traumatic childhoods earlier.
yeah,
All of those things that I forgot about, all those like hidden wounds that I had no idea were driving all my actions for most of my adult life. Imagine that.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, my whole life is a lie. My whole
Yeah.
life was
Wow.
Yeah, we know that
Yeah.
too.
it was driven by a lot of fear,
Of
a lot of
course.
whatever childhood things that oh my god,
Trauma. Yeah,
that's
trauma.
not really who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I'm at a place where I feel like I have a blank slate and I can now redefine and, I can dictate. Like I'm now free from all those like fear driven actions and
Yeah.
thinking and be so like whatever, right? I can just be free, like make music even though I don't know anything about music.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like
We're right there with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
even diba? But now it's like whatever. I'm just doing things because I like it for the sake of it's the journey, not the destination. So it's it's that, and
Cool.
life is good now.
That's amazing. I mean, that's the way to go. That's the way to live life.
Yeah, it's exciting. Pero syempre, I mean, meron pa rin marami pa rin fears, but at least I'm aware of them.
It's all it's awareness naman talaga. And the fears, they don't really go away because they're teachers. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, even our neurosis and all these conflict, if you look at it from a really, really wide perspective, they're all interconnected. You know, they're not there in vain. They're not there to punish us.
Exactly.
I mean, we did grow up in this whole reward punishment mentality, but it's not that. It's really, there's really something bigger at play, and we don't even know it. but there is, like there's a reason we're here. There's a reason we're having this conversation. It's never random. It's all like synchronized.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And because now with that understanding, we fear does not disappear, but the self-limiting beliefs that were built to kind of shield ourselves from that fear go away.
Yeah.
It's the self-limiting beliefs getting obliterated, well, not completely obliterated, but kind of, chipping away at it. And that helps us live fuller lives.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's all these things that are limiting us. But now I know, okay, I am a light. I am this beacon of light. And as long as I have good intentions, even though you're just thinking, like, I have been here, like, I haven't gone out, I haven't seen any of my friends at all, but I feel like I made so much impact in the world.
Yeah.
Just being here and like just doing my own thing, doing my videos, making my music. And now I'm teaching meditation already also. So I feel like, wow, I'm already making
Doing a lot. You're doing a lot.
a big difference in life more than before. And I'm just home.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah. It's service, it's selfless service. And I think that's one thing that will really trump like any amount of money you're making, any amount of experiences that you have that are very stimulating. I think it's knowing that you're helping other people. As cheesy as that sounds, it's the truth.
That's a driving force right there.
That's the driving force, diba?
Yeah, and what's beautiful about having Reiki is you don't judge. Because now you're coming from a deep sense of compassion that you understand that everyone is on a journey. Some people are far ahead than the others, but at some point they will figure out their own path.
Yeah.
You're still far at that time, and that's what I appreciate about all the case that's happening now, because I can see now the hope that there's so much room for improvement, and the improvement is coming because those who are waking up, people like us, we're being more aware and we're stepping up to the plate of having that unity, cooperation, having that message of love and compassion, because it is there, it is unlimited. People just have to see it in that sense. Like, everything got messed up when I think it was Plato who created that concept of duality. It was he who conceptualized it, and then it transferred to everything in the whole. It transferred to the political system that up to now is still.
It was weaponized. Duality, the concept of duality was weaponized.
Yeah.
Given what we've been talking about and what you've shared about Reiki and your perspective on things, if you had a message for anybody who you feel should hear something, what would that be?
You have light in you. The divine source is in you. And you are more powerful than anything else. Like, you have so much power. You just need to unleash it. Yeah.
It was amazing.
There you go. Unleash your power. Unleash your power. But thanks so much, Celine. Like, I hope
thank
you do
you.
more creative stuff and share more of your insights.
Yes. More fun stuff coming.
For sure.
Nice.
Yeah. So excited.
Stay safe, Celine. Stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe.
You too. I had fun talking to you guys.
Thank
Same
you.
here. Same here. Thank
Same.
you.